Hello everybody and welcome back to the CLEN channel where we play a game and talk about anything MMA related. And today what I want to talk about is Dana White's previous post-fight presser with the Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards card. There was something very interesting that he was talking about, and he was talking about Paulo Costa when USADA woke him up about 6 a.m. Long story short, he ended up saying that that will never happen to another fighter, and I found that very interesting for him to say because for years since USADA came, the big thing with them is the UFC was talking about, hey, USADA is an independent agency, they're going to come in and they're going to clean up the sport. We have nothing to do with USADA, they are an independent agency. If they said that over the years since what, it was like 2015 or something that they signed USADA with them. And there's been so many times with fighters popping and just talking about USADA testing in general where Dana White and the UFC staff has been like, okay, this, we have nothing to do about it. They are independent. They emphasize that constantly throughout all these years. Independent contractors are coming in to clean up the sport and we have no influence over them. But now Dana White is sitting here and saying like, okay, that will never happen to another fighter. I understand where Dana White was coming from, where it's like the test will be the same whether you test them 3 hours later. But the whole thing with USADA is we can come whenever we want to test you because who knows what will happen, right? But I understand what Dana White's saying too. Like I just said, the test will be the same 3 hours later if you want to like ban them from coming in the morning, but you can't really do that because then I don't know too much about drug testing, right? Or like using steroids or anything like that, but I don't know. I highly doubt that that would make a difference if like they couldn't come at specifically 6 a.m. or something like that. I'm not too sure. That's besides the point though. What Dana White said was a little bit alarming to me, and like I don't see many people talking about this at all. It's like, does Dana White actually have influence over USADA? Is Dana White going to talk to USADA and say, hey, we're not going to have that anymore, don't come in the morning, and then they can actually do that after all these years? And again, I think it was like 2015, I'm sorry I don't have the year off the top of my head. They can come in and just dictate what USADA does. Who knows how many fighters they were defending? That would really explain the whole Brock Lesnar situation very well, because like there's been instances like that. John Jones still fought, they moved the whole event so John Jones could fight when he popped for whatever he was using, the picograms, you know? I mean, there's been so many instances where it's like, okay, that makes sense if the UFC actually has influence. I always thought they did in the back of my head, but to hear Dana White actually say that was a little bit alarming because who knows what else is going on. Like I know a lot of people are talking about Conor McGregor being on the roids now, and it's apparently, I don't know where people are getting this information. It could just be stuff floating around, so please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt here. And it's like people are saying Conor McGregor hasn't been tested since his leg break, and he probably needs steroids to fix that. I don't know much about that. I don't know how true that is, but that would make a lot of sense with the UFC just going, hey, don't test Conor McGregor, and it's just a coincidence that he's bigger than he's ever been before. Maybe he'll come back and you know what, just starch the next opponent that he comes. Maybe he comes in at 170 and just has this ungodly power because he's cheating. Again, not accusing Conor McGregor of cheating. It's just like something that I've been thinking about, something that I've been seeing online. So it's a little bit alarming to hear Dana White say that. And it was a little bit disappointing too, because I really thought that USADA was like, I've always had my speculation, my doubts in the back of my head, but at the end of the day, it was still a drug testing agency coming in and cleaning up the sport. But now, is it corrupt? I don't know what to think, but I'd love to know what you think down below, guys. I don't have anything else to say about this, but please let me know what you think down below about all this, and thank you so much for watching this video.